What is up, guys? Today we got the refurbished Galaxy S10 from Amazon, and you can see we got a way nicer box this time. We usually just get the creepy just white box with no text or anything like that. So let's see, how do we even open this thing up? They got it so kind of tricky. We had some technical difficulties, but got that off. All right, let's get it out here and let's see the condition of this guy. Let's put that to the side real quick. Alright, so as usual, SIM tool removal. We get our power brick and a pretty nice thick USB Type-C cable. Some Amazon stuff letting you know about the refurbished products and how they go about doing all that stuff. Alright, let's see, Galaxy S10 here. Alright, see, this is pretty good condition. I don't see any major scratches on here. See, let's see the screen. Check the ports. Everything looks clean. Sticker right here. So this one looks clean. No major scuffs or scratches. I believe this one was like $230, so 230 bucks. So let's boot this guy up. This one feels really good in the hand. It's basically a big version of the S10e that we saw here. So if you really wanted an S10e but you were like it's too small, this is the phone that you're gonna get, and I'll do that comparison for you guys. Let's talk about the build on here. It's a full glass and metal design, power button, Bixby button, volume rockers, USB Type-C. Your headphone jack is still on board. Stereo speakers are on here as well. Triple camera setup on here. Let's go ahead and sign in and I'll walk you guys through. Alright guys, we are in on the S10, and so I want to talk about the display on here because man, it's a nice display, and I was actually very surprised at how much I like the screen size at 6.1 inches here. It's still to me fairly compact because you got to remember the phones that I'm used to dealing with, OnePlus 7 Pro, 6.8 inches. I think this is a sweet spot for people who have small hands, or people who have small hands and you don't necessarily want a super small screen, like anything below 6 inches. And that's the same thing with the S10e, because I like this phone too, the compact size, as you can see, and we'll get into that comparison. But I just want to say that the screen size, I really think is very comfortable. I think it's big, but it's also you know, small enough to be kind of considered compact in 2021. So I do want to talk about just the screen specs on here. So I've been enjoying just watching videos on here. So you do have on here a 6.1 inch dynamic AMOLED display. It's HDR10 plus and it's 1440p 550 for the PPI. This is not a 1080p panel, guys. This is a full 1440p panel. And what's interesting about this panel is that it actually has a slight curve to it. Not necessarily a massive curve, but as you can see, kind of a slight curve. And then you have your punch hole on here as well. So overall, for screen quality, I was just really blown away. I forgot about the specs on this phone, so I was assuming it was a 1080p panel, but when I actually looked at it, and I was like, wow, this screen looks super sharp. So this is a very sharp looking, very nice looking display. So I do want to throw that out there. That's definitely the highlight with this device. Now, out of the box, this phone actually came with Android 11 on here, which is nice. So Android 11 right out of the box here, and I was really happy about that. So we do have that on here with, you know, the latest One UI, and this thing is running just really smoothly as far as performance wise. You don't really see any hiccups and stuff like that on here. If we check out our toggles, all of our toggles are here. We have our screen recording on here. We also have Samsung desktop support on here. Your secured folders is on here. Dolby Atmos. The phone does have NFC. Our dark mode toggle on here as well. And where's the wireless power sharing on here? That is on here. Just saw it, boom, right here. So let me grab you know, the S10 here, put it down, and it should charge it up. See if I get it right. Yeah, there it goes, boom. It shouldn't have took that long. This might be dead. Yeah, this phone's dead. So it shouldn't have took that long. But you do have that wireless power sharing mode on here as well. As you saw, that always on display is on here as well too. So software experience, very fast phone, guys. And you guys know this is still technically a flagship phone. Do not be fooled just because these phones are cheap, and don't think that they're weak phones, because as you're gonna see, just running it through some gaming, and I'll drop a full gaming test, these are still very powerful phones. So as far as like the phone having like hiccups and being slow, you are not gonna find that with the latest version of Android on here. And Samsung pumps out a ton of updates for their phones. Awesome performance on this phone so far, just navigating, downloading stuff, very smooth experience. Alright guys, so gaming on this phone is going to be really great because you have the Snapdragon 855 and Adreno 640 on here. You also have micro SD support, 128 gigs of internal storage, and actually 8 gigs of RAM on the base model. So you have a ton of RAM on this device here. So if you just check out our settings on Call of Duty, this is going to perform very well. As you can see, you can do very high graphics and max FPS. So this phone is going to be a beast, and I will drop that full gaming test for you guys as well. As far as like heating problems, I haven't had a problem with this phone getting hot or anything like that. It stays cooler than the S10, so I will say that. But performance wise on here is going to be awesome, guys. And I think the best thing about gaming on this phone is, again, I want to reiterate how comfortable the screen is on here, especially for people with smaller hands. So if you have smaller hands and you were thinking about picking this phone up, it's still, now, is it going to be as compact, you know, as the S10e? Of course not, but I think this is a good size. I think this is big enough, but also, just for reference, I believe this is just as big as the LG G8. 6.1 inches. Yeah, I believe that's about the size of the G8 or the G7. I can't remember. But yeah, your gaming experience is going to be super smooth, very fast. Stereo speakers are on board with this guy. Let's check out how powerful they are. Man, when you turn Dolby Atmos on here, it makes a huge difference. Like, it gets so much louder. So just excellent, very powerful speakers on here. Very good vibrations on this phone as well, or haptic feedback. So that is pretty strong on here too. So as far as audio, you're getting a very good experience, especially with that Dolby Atmos on. And of course, you can always plug in your headphone jack, which is something that you cannot do with a lot of modern day flagships. So let's talk about getting into the device here. So you have two options here. You have your under the display fingerprint sensor, which actually works fairly, you know, smoothly, surprisingly. It is definitely smooth. I was really surprised because I remember when this phone first came out, like, everybody was saying it was kind of glitchy, but as you can see, I guess with software updates, you can see just how, like, it's pretty smooth, it's pretty effortless. Also, you have the option of face unlock, if I can actually get it from, oh, I actually got it. So you do have face unlock on here. See if I can do it again. Boom, got it. Face unlock is on here. It's very fast, very fluid. I had zero issues with the biometrics on this device. So as far as getting into your device, it is going to be a breeze on here. Now let's go ahead and talk about the cameras on here. So you do have a triple camera setup instead of the dual camera setup on the S10e. So what is that additional camera that you're getting? You're getting a telephoto lens on this phone as well. So you have that 12 megapixel standard, 12 megapixel telephoto, 16 megapixel ultra wide, and you have 4K video at 60 FPS and a 10 megapixel selfie that shoots in 4K. So as you can see, I can pop out to my 0.5 ultra wide, 2x, and you know, we can do our telephoto shots here. And the photo experience on this phone is pretty much on par with the S10e. So you're getting pretty much the exact same photos. And I mean, you're getting very good photos on here. You're getting very clean photos on here, very good detail, good dynamic range, handles overexposure pretty well. White balance is pretty good on here too. Portrait modes do a good job as well. You get nice, good blur, good depth of field. I had zero complaints. Remember the price point of this phone? I think you're getting a exceptional camera. I think it beats a lot of budget phones at the $200 price point, to be honest. So zero complaints. I'm not going to complain about anything about the cameras on this device because it does an exceptional job, just like the S10e. The selfie camera is pretty good as well. And I will show you guys the indoor and outdoor video so you can hear the mic quality. Alright guys, here's the video on the S10. It's raining outside now. Let me know what you guys think. Punch out to that ultra wide. Let's go ahead and punch in 2x. Alright guys, here is the video quality indoors. You can see, like I said, these phones are great if you want to start off with like making YouTube videos. You want to start off with just using your phone or whatever. You can see you punched out to the ultra wide here. Go 2x. Boom. So I think it looks, you know, great. I think indoors and outdoor video is pretty solid on this guy. Alright, so let's discuss battery life on here. So the battery is a 3,400 milliamp battery, 15 watt charging, wireless charging, and you do have reverse wireless charging, and that wireless charging is 15 watts as well. Basically, your battery experience is going to be pretty average on here. You're not going to be getting a crazy battery life because the battery is kind of small, even for today. You know, for today's standards, it's kind of small. So usually you're getting around 6 hours of screen on time, which is definitely a full day. It's technically a full day's use, but that's on the low, you know, the low end, and it's more towards if you're a lighter user. So battery life on here is just average. It's just okay. So basically that pretty much wraps you know, my first impressions of this device up. So is there anything I do not like about this device? For the price point, absolutely not. It is 100% fantastic device. I'm really impressed with it. It's got pretty much all pros because when I look at the device, you have to look at it from a perspective of price to spec ratio. So it's just the price to spec ratio is just too good. It's got everything really latest flagships would have, minus high refresh rate. Yeah, the cameras aren't going to be as good as, like, you know, a Galaxy S21 or whatever. But it's good enough. The screen is excellent quality display on here. It's just an awesome device. Build quality is great. It's got all the little bells and whistles, Samsung desktop support. All the bells and whistles are here. And again, $230. That's incredible for all of the phone that you're getting here. So definitely an awesome device. We'll be covering this phone a lot more on the channel. Be sure to let me know what you guys think, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.